What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. I'm one of your hosts, Luke, and join with me today. We have a special guest, the one, the only, one of my good close friends, Scoob. Go ahead and say hi to the people, my man.
Oh, my fault. Hi. Scooby Entertainment here, Scooby ENT, content creator, great friends with my boy Luke.
What's
I love you,
up?
Luke.
I love you
The
too,
goat
my
of all
man.
goats.
Oh man, you do. I don't know the goat of all goats, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. Oh my
You are,
gosh.
man.
Well, welcome to the podcast, man. I
Thanks.
definitely for a while there I wanted to get some more guests on, and I'm super duper excited to have you on as one of the guests. I guess I would say that honestly, not too many people that follow me through Twitch would know, because I always tell people a lot. It's like I have like two like sides of like content creating. I have the TikTok side of Luke, and then we have the Twitch side of Luke. And most of the people remember me a lot from when I was doing Twitch, but not a whole lot of people really remember much from TikTok. And from our relationship, we definitely met crazily through TikTok. And you were number one. I would say you were the number one first close friend I made through content creation. And obviously, obviously, man, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. So, how's it been going, man? How's life?
Man, life has been life, and let me tell you. I started streaming last year. Ever since I moved, me and you both, we used to be 30 minutes, an hour from each other,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now we're like 6 hours from each other.
Yes.
At least 6 to 8.
Somehow we're further away from each other when we were in Virginia to where we are now. To now that we're still further away. So I don't know how we messed that up, but we somehow did.
I know, right? I used to come over Luke's house, and first thing I say every
Mhm.
time I walked in the door, "Honey, I'm home."
Yeah.
I hear in the background, "Hi, coming down."
Yep, it was. I mean, we had a whole ass routine coming down. It was a good like prime COVID years. Pretty much I would say almost every weekend for a good like year
Yeah.
and a half. You would come over every Saturday or Sunday, one of those days, and you would go over and we would spend absurd amount of money. That's all I
Oh,
remember. The amount of money
uh,
that we have spent together just going to the stores, man, was wild.
you would think that we were rich,
We were
like
not.
we would come back. Yeah, we were not. We would come back with boxes and boxes of
Yeah,
figures,
yeah,
and I remember I had to hide them when I come to my house because I was like, oh, my mom's gonna be like, wow, you paying all this money. Looks like I need to up the rent or something. like I used to
yeah.
hide boxes and boxes,
Oh
but
yeah.
you still got your figures and everything. You got everything still?
I downsized a little bit before when I moved.
Mm,
It's because I just didn't have the space for almost 200 plus figures
understandable.
to go. So I downsized quite a bit. I've got some of my favorite figures, and I still got my like Yu-Gi-Oh pops, and I have my
Ooh,
trunk station like right behind me with my little manga shelf that I still got rocking and
yes,
rolling. But
sir.
yeah, no, I definitely had to downsize quite a bit, which is honestly, it's fine because a lot of them were really just collecting dust at the end of the day. So, they were nice to look at, don't get me wrong, but I definitely, I think primarily once COVID really ended, the spending habits had to change a little bit. And couldn't be going to the good old anime store buying a figure, buying 2 to 3 figures every other week. Was not a financial move once COVID really ended. So,
Honestly, same here. I was just like, I can't do this. I moved here and I found an anime store. Oh,
no,
and it's not that far from me. And I'm just like,
can't go there.
okay. I was like, I went there once
Hmm.
and I had to go there twice. Then I had to go there 3 times, and I
Oh,
had to stop myself. I was like, I gotta stop
I gotta
myself.
stop.
It's a nice store too.
Yeah.
It's called Puni Yibia, something like that. They
Okay.
have it in New York. It's like
Oh, okay.
I think there's only 2 places or 3.
Oh, that's cool.
And Yeah, so I was just like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's yeah, no. I'm kind of glad here where I'm at in Tallahassee. There is no like there is like a couple like nerd stores, but I have not yet set foot in one, and I'm keeping it that way for a while
It,
because I
it's
just
okay.
yeah I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, and plus I don't have you egging me on every week. I'm like, go ahead, just do it, just do it, just do it. We
No,
were
no, no. That's you. That is you. When I
yes,
tell you, master manipulator,
I
Luke,
was. I was
he,
terrible. I was terrible
he was
every
like, he was like, just do it, man. Just do it.
ball out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, y'all was a favorite ones right there. Ball
Famous
out.
last words, ball out, man, ball out. You can
And
get
I'm like,
that.
you know what? You're right.
I think it's funny because we're kind of going on our little tangent about like buying figures and stuff. What are if you had to like list one figure that you bought that is your favorite, and then the one you're like, why did I spend this much money on this figure? What would those two figures be?
Hmm.
Looking right at them.
um, I think my favorite. You remember the Greed figure?
Yeah, I remember Greed. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that was a good
The
one.
one I'm like, why did I buy this? It has to be one of the girl figures. Or no, no. I'm gonna be honest. The
Mm.
whole rim collection. I'm looking at that with disgust now. I have a whole rim shrine of different rims, and I'm just like, why did I do any of
Why did
this?
I do that? Why did I do that? No, I feel
Ugh,
you. I feel you so much on that. Yeah. Yeah, for me, definitely my favorites are definitely I love my the One Piece crew that I have of
yes,
Robin,
sir.
Nami, and Boa. That's like my favorite. Those were like that was probably the most I spent on any like two because I wanted the set. The
Oh yeah,
set was a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Those are probably my favorites, and the ones that I honestly, it's hard to know because I don't have them anymore because I just got rid of them
Uh,
because I didn't care. I think a couple some of them were some just Dragon Ball ones, you know, basic ones where I think I had a Broly one which I spent like 100 some dollars on this Broly figure, and it
ooh,
just took up a lot of space, and it honestly wasn't as nice. I think I just saw it because it was cool looking. I was like, I'll get it, and then took it home. And I'm like, I don't know why I bought this.
that is fair. I have the two Broly figures. I think you were there for one of them.
Yeah, I
Or
think
I
me
think
and
you were
you.
there for both of them
I
actually.
think me and you bought the same figure. I think we both saw that figure. It's
Yeah.
the base Broly where he's just like really big and bulky. I don't remember the other one though. I don't know if I was there for that one. You might. I might have been. I might have been.
Hold
But
on. Let me. I could get them actually. It's right there.
okay.
All right, let me. Uh,
Scoob is going to go grab the figures that we were talking about.
they take up so much space.
Yes, they do.
Oh, please don't fall.
Literally the worst thing about that. Yep, that's the one I was there for. Yeah, that's the one I have. Yep, yep,
And then I got this one.
yeah. I know I was there for that one. I remember saying I didn't like that one because it wasn't the OG Broly.
Yeah, I got.
Something about the OG Broly always stood out for me more than the new Super version.
And these are heavy. Like I can
Yes,
lift weights
yeah,
with these.
yeah.
Like
They're a good 25 pounds right there. At least that's what it feels like.
yeah, I can't remember how much they cost though. I remember.
I know one of them was like 70 to 100. I know one of them it was like because it was a big box and they had just gotten them because we were talking to the owner of Cool Stuff that day about those figures,
Yeah,
and I just remember that one, and that one was a lot of money. Just remember that
I
one.
believe. I believe this one costs cheaper than this one, which is weird.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I remember you told me how much it was. I'm like, that one's more than that one. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember seeing. I think this one I was just like, I have to get it. The cost it was only like $40, I believe,
Yeah.
and then this one was the more expensive one. I
Hmm.
believe I believe so. I might have them backwards. I don't know. I
Yeah.
care. I just know I got both of these and I'm broke.
All exactly. All you know is that you had money. Now you don't. And there we go.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. You know, kind of went on a whole tangent, and I think it's always kind of funny to talk about it because it just goes to show that yeah, me and Scoop like hung out a lot together.
A lot.
It was a thing because the thing is, we had, if I'm remembering this correctly, like the origin of the friendship, if, to me, is we somehow, I don't know what prompted it, but somehow we all got put into like an Instagram group chat with Gabe at some point. I don't know what the reason was behind it, but something happened. Like I think it was one of those times where like TikTok was going to go away or something like that, and then he
Yeah.
invited all of his friends, and then Scoob ended up in that group chat with us, and all I remember happening is I just remember I posted a video about the store that we're talking about. It was called Cool Stuff, and it was in Virginia Beach. And like out of the blue, like Scoob was just like, "Where is this at?" I'm like, "Oh, Virginia Beach." I'm like, "Oh, I only live 30 minutes away." I was like, "What? You live 30 minutes away?" And we had been like chatting in this group chat for at least a good 3 months beforehand before we literally dawned on us that we are literally in the same area.
And the crazy thing is that when we said that, that's when we found out Lavi also lived near
Yeah,
us.
we figured out Lobby lived near us, and I all of a sudden like Chris came in. He's like, "I'm gonna come down too," and he lives in Philly. And then I think that was also and that Trunks also came down for that one, right? The first ever like meetup, or was he did he not make it for the first one? I can't remember.
I don't.
I know we realized that Trunks also lived in Virginia at the
Yeah,
time, and we were like, oh, we should all meet up. And
yeah.
I'm not sure if he made it down from that one, but yeah, that was the first like official meeting of everyone. It was me, you, Lavi, and Chris all meeting up together to go to the anime store.
I remember Chris saying like, I remember Chris was like, "Oh, y'all about to meet up next week?" And then he was like, "I'm about to book a flight now." We thought he was lying. You're lying.
Yeah,
You're lying. You're lying. He
bullshit.
was like, "All right, who's picked me up? My flight. I land this Thursday
Yeah, and the thing is,
or Friday."
he didn't even fly. He took the bus. I remember that because I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
took
He
the
took a
bus,
bus.
and we were like, oh, we're now to pick him up at like 6 in the morning. Like in like the morning, I remember sending you a video of me waiting outside of this like sketchy ass gas station,
Yes.
waiting to pick up Chris. But yeah, we met through that, and it's just crazy to think about because we talk about it all the time. I think it's I don't say we were like the first, but it felt like we were like the first of like the OG anime TikTok like group to actually physically meet up because we met up like right like TikTok was weird because we started and then COVID hit. And like that was kind of the thing like COVID like literally was hitting when TikTok was blowing up for a lot of us at that point in time. And so we were like the first like group to like meet up and I just remember I was like, "Oh, you guys actually met up." Da, 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 da. It felt like we were like the first like to ever like really start doing like that collabing kind of thing, which is really really cool. I always thought that was really funny because I after that everyone's once the world opened back up, cons started coming and people started going to more cons and stuff like that. But I just felt like we somehow communicated well enough to be like, "Oh yeah, let's just say hi to each other real quick."
Exactly. I think it was amazing. It was an amazing moment because I remember what's her name? Anime Waifu.
Hmm.
She like I remember posting my story was like, "Yeah, I want to meet more I want to have more anime TikTok friends and everything."
Hmm.
And Anime Waifu, she was just like, "Bet." Like literally bet. I was like, "Huh?"
Bad.
She was like, "I'll add you to this group chat." And I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, cool." Add
Hmm.
me to the group chat. That's when, you know,
Hmm.
Luke already told the story where eventually after 3 months we finally was like, "Oh, wait, you live in Virginia?
Yeah,
What?"
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it was a great moment. I Trunks, I believe he came
He
to
came
us.
pretty soon. Like it was like because
Yeah,
it felt like it was a month because it was like we had like our first initial meeting where it's just me, you, and Lobby and Chris, and then I want to say like a month after that, Chris booked
yeah.
another trip back down. It was a pretty quick turnaround where Chris booked another trip down, and that's when
Mhm.
Trunks came for the first time, and then we had the big meetup like a couple months later after that. I was like, I remember that was when we the girls rented out that Airbnb, and
Yeah.
that was about a couple months after like the second meetup, and
Mhm.
when we actually I guess we put the first inklings into what a anime content creation house actually happened, which I guess now a couple years down the line you've actually been a part of now being kind of sort of after years of for it to going places you're finally at this quote
Yeah.
unquote. We tested the waters first, as I was like to say, to see if it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
possible,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh yeah, we can do it. We can do
We can definitely do it. Now I'm in a house with Trunks,
Yeah,
Fifth for Kage,
it's a wild.
Vibes,
It's a wild
and
time.
Fresco. Yeah, and it's a wild time every single day. Y'all don't understand. No, 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 no. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Whatever y'all see on the internet, oh yeah, they're way worse in person. Whatever y'all see
Oh
on
my
the internet,
goodness.
oh my gosh,
Oh my goodness.
it's never a dull moment in the house unless we all are completely dead for the rest of the day and we just stay in our rooms. That's the only time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would love for you to come over
Oh
here
yeah, for
one of these
sure. One
days.
of these days, I'll bring my ass up there, say hi to y'all, and say hi to y'all, and just do the good old routine. We'll just go to the anime store and Barnes and Noble and do what we normally do. Just I'll make sure that week I don't have any bills coming up, and so I have
Yeah,
some free money.
honestly, yeah, nah, honestly, I'm not spending money. I'm looking at you. I'm gonna be
No,
like, go for it, do it,
Scoob,
do it.
you know me so well that that's not going to end up happening. I'm going to end up making you buy stuff
Okay,
too. You already know. You
you're
already know.
right.
You
You're right.
already
You're
know.
right.
You already know.
You're
Well,
right.
you touched on it a little bit. You know, for those who don't know, Scoob over here, is does a lot of content creation. If you already don't know, pretty well known on TikTok, for his anime god stuff, which was where he really first popped up and started creating it. Like really, this when they, would you say that was your first viral video? Was the anime god? Was that your first like viral series, or was
No.
it the Thor one? I know one.
Oh,
It was one or the other that I remember, especially with anime TikTok, that at least I was aware of.
actually, yes. My first viral series, when it comes to anime, it was the Anime God, and then
Okay.
the Thor. The Thor was after that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to not anime, just video, period.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to at least TikTok, because I used to do Instagram before TikTok.
Yeah.
What was it? It was a Halloween video.
Okay.
It was with my friend, and he like grabbed he put on this costume, this I forgot what it's called, but it has
Mm-hmm.
like teeth and everything. It's a morph suit and it's all white and has white eyes
Okay.
and all that stuff and long fingers. And basically I came in was like, oh honey, or not honey, that's weird. He was supposed to be my son in the video. He's supposed to be my son in the video. And I came in, I was like, what's wrong? He was like, there's something in my closet. And I go in the closet, turn on the lights. I was like, there's nothing in the closet. I turn off the lights, and he's behind me with the morph suit on
Okay.
as I turn off the lights. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, ugh. So I was like, oh, it's okay. So I'm walking away as a camera towards me and towards the back of my head and everything. And he's in the background. He gets grabbed by the monster. And that shit went viral. I don't know why or how, but it went
Mm-hmm.
viral.
Okay.
But yeah, Anime God was my
Mm-hmm.
viral series.
Let's
And
go.
I still remember our BS video that we did. I was like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it. The Pokemon one. And that shit went viral. It went viral, man.
I will say, whenever me and you came together, because the thing is, we would always come, like, Scoop would always come over every single week. And for a while there, when we first started hanging out, we were like, oh, let's just, like, make content. We never made content. Like, just
No.
full fair warning. We had every intention of doing something content related. And I think maybe me and you collabed on, like, 3 videos max together.
Yeah.
And it's not because we didn't like want to record or nothing with each other. It's just because we were just having more fun not doing that. And that's, again, the friendship was never about content creation. The friendship was a genuine friendship.
Exactly.
And that's how it always was. And so when we were like, hey, let's do it, Scoob asked me. I remember he asked me, he's like, all right, you're gonna do a Pokemon. Well, I was like, all right, bet. And I just came with this shitty country accent saying I like hunting Pokemon and stuff like that. It is just, it's like, and then I remember watching, I was like, I was like, oh, this is awful. It's not gonna do well at all. And then it blew up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it just goes to show how, like, at least back in the day, like, I don't know how it is now because I'm so far away removed from content creation, specifically like short form TikTok reels. But like you just did not know the how the algorithm was going to work back in the day. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have a good series, it would go really well, and then you'd have a series that would fall apart. And then you would post one
Mhm.
random video and it would blow the fuck up. And I just thought that one was really fun because I'm like, I was like, why did that one out of all the most recent ones you were doing, why did that one? Why did my stupid face have to be on that? Because I love reading the comments and they're like, well, why would he do that? I'm like, okay, first of all, guys, it's not that serious.
It's not. They take it so literal
They
on
did. They did.
each video they did, and I was like, bro, like, come on,
Yeah.
y'all know it's not like real, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing like two different people. I don't have a twin, right? Or
You
like,
know, I'm hey, hate to burst your bubble, guys, but I'm really not the anime god, okay? Don't be sending people.
exactly. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, what is going on?
Yeah.
But that was a great, honestly, that was a great what year, 2 years,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years of doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I just stopped. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want to do
same.
it no more.
Yeah, it really was. It was just one of those things. Like I always think it's funny. I guess I'd like to get your opinion on it, Scoob. Is like, yeah,
Hmm.
I did it. I mean, to be fair, like I don't think people really, at least like the newer people coming in like to the TikTok game, like they don't understand how much of a grind it was when you first started out. Like
Yeah.
it was without a doubt like 3 videos a day, posted at specific times to get on the algorithm to hit the FYP, and it was a grind specifically during those COVID years where a lot of the OGs who were doing it. I think. I mean, I don't want to be putting words in anyone's mouth, but obviously you can definitely see that a lot of the guys from our original friend group, besides a handful of people, aren't typically posting on their thing. They're kind of just going about their normal lives now, like a lot of
Uh-huh.
people. And I think it definitely had a lot to do with burnout in the sense that we were grinding videos out every single day, and it was a lot. And I definitely remember for me, I specifically once I got my PC set up on my I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, I'd much rather talk. I'd much rather do more longer form content because even Scoob knows. Like the first thing I ever talked to Scoob about, like when we were first bouncing out, he's like, I'd love to do a podcast. I'd love to just do a podcast or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
And because I just love talking, and so then when Twitch came around, I was like, oh, this is perfect for me because I like to talk. I can talk for 6 hours, and now my job in real life is to I just talk to people all day long, anyways. So talking's never been a thing for me, and now I don't have to sit there and think of these ideas to create a video content. I get like I'm not scrolling TikTok. I'm doing it for fun now. Versus I'm like, all right, what's a good sound? Okay, what can I do with this? Okay, what anime waifu have I not talked about yet? Okay, da 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 da. Da. And it was a lot. It was a drain for sure. And so I bounced out pretty early from it. I think I would say it was like the first domino to drop, but I definitely was one of the ones where like I'm peace. I'm gonna go do this other thing for a little bit, and I mean I've tried to come back to TikTok numerous times. I'm like just don't want to. I don't want to do it, man. It's not for me anymore. But you said you were doing it for a couple of years, man. What made you stop? Was it just the same thing, like you just burn out, didn't want to do it, or what was it?
Yeah, it was my job. It was
Okay.
the job that I had. I got promoted,
Mm-hmm.
working more hours. Life starts to hit you more. You start becoming more and more of an adult.
Yeah.
And I started was like, yeah, I don't want to stay in my mom's house forever. It's
Mm-hmm.
time for me to like try to figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would want to be a full-time content creator, but when you get older, it's better to start things when you're young because
Yeah.
you ain't got to worry about anything. While you
Mm-hmm.
get older, you have to juggle everything,
To grow up.
especially especially the things you want. And
Yeah.
people look at content creation as it's not a job. You just sit there and do a video. I'm like, it's a job. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's kind of stressful at times. Like you said, the algorithm. I right now, like for TikTok at least, I've noticed a lot of new people are blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a lot of anime TikTokers that um that are blowing up as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I do see that are blowing up, they aren't doing anime. They ain't doing just strictly anime TikTok. They just doing other stuff too.
Yeah.
And then their anime stuff does blow up because their
Yeah.
audience is like, oh,
Already,
okay,
it's
whatever
already
this
well
is.
established and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we did used to post like 3 times, 4 times a day. While
Hmm.
nowadays, if you post 3 times, 4 times a day, you can mess up your page doing that because it's gonna be like,
Hmm.
okay, chill out on posting. You can only post once
Yeah.
a day at a
Yeah.
certain time. And I'm just like, what? Like, even me, I have a lot of followers and I get like 1,000 views. I'd be happy with 1,000 views on my page. And
Hmm.
I'm sitting here like, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah.
But like I'm not tripping on it because I stopped making content so much, or not stop making content, but I stopped getting on TikTok so much because life was hitting me.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a stable place where I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to do this. But I was like, I want to stream now.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for a while. And I'm trying to like change my page up to,
Hmm.
hey guys, I'm streaming. Hey guys, I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Hey guys, yeah, I make anime god videos. Or people be like, oh, you what's the word? You fell off. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I fell
So
off.
it's like I don't know if I
Like
fell. I don't know if I fell off. I literally just willingly walked off. Honestly, that's what I
I'm honestly, yeah.
did.
I don't like the term fall off because I feel
No.
like fall off is for people who are consistently posting and they have a lot of views
Yeah.
at the time, and then out of nowhere they don't get any more views and they're still posting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of falling off compared to people who just stop posting and then they try to get back in it. And TikTok's like, or whatever social media platform, they're like, who are you again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just build you up like you're a smaller page again. Yeah, just sit over there and I'll think about the more important people who
Hmm.
post every day. Like that's exactly what they're doing, like how the algorithm works most of the time.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
it's
of
pretty
course,
crazy.
yeah, of course, everybody that follows you, a lot of them probably stopped looking at TikTok or they forgot
Hmm.
about you or they deleted their page or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
just like you have all those accounts that are like not nobody's using them. So it's just like, okay, or people are wondering, where are you? Where is this person at? They're not posting anymore. I don't care about them. Unfollow, or I'll just keep looking for someone else new. So you just got to worry about that a lot of times. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
Fair.
care about. I I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm at a new spot right now. I'm streaming a lot. I have
Hmm.
people in the house that also do content, and they're
Yeah.
trying to help us grow. We have a group now, so it's just like we're trying to build ourselves up before we build our group up,
Hmm.
and it's just I don't know. I like it. I like it
Yeah.
where I'm at, so I can't. TikTok. We don't know what's going on with TikTok.
No one knows anymore. It's just a
Nobody
crazy.
knows.
No.
Yeah, I'd rather just do Twitch, Instagram, and
There you
YouTube.
go. That's the thing. It's the thing. It's kind of it's not a shame as much as it is just very much a reality of anything when it comes to content creation.
Yep.
It's just a thing where people who don't make content don't truly understand the amount of work that goes into certain videos. There's a lot of script writing. There's a lot of editing, full hand. There's a lot. I mean, I'll be the first to admit my TikTok videos did not take much like brain effort. They were tedious. I'll say that, like editing, because I didn't even know this. Like they have a full TikTok studio now
Yeah.
on like to edit things on your phone, and I'm sitting here hitting pause, editing things on like the little things, and I was an old man trying to figure out TikTok, and I posted a video and there was like a whole studio, and I was like, oh my god, these guys have it made. Man, oh man, this would have been nice back in the day when I actually gave a fuck. But
I
you,
agree.
but it's a thing where I think back to it. I'm like, yeah, a lot of it just boils down to I, people. I don't, at least for me specifically, and I know you've always wanted to be a content creator. You've mentioned that before. You wanted to do stuff with film and stuff like that. That was always been kind of a goal of yours. For me, this just the whole idea. I've always like kind of thought about doing content, but I think what the cool thing about TikTok, specifically early TikTok, the era me and you got our start in, it was so organic, the growth. Like I remember I posted a video and it blew up, and by the end of the day, I had 3,000 followers. And I'm like, what's
Yep.
going on here? And then I'm like, well, I got 3,000 people like following me on TikTok. It's like, well, I don't want to disappoint the 3,000 people that are following me. So yeah, I'll put out another video. And then somehow I became a TikToker, and somehow I started meeting people like you. I started meeting people like Gabe. I started meeting people like Sydney and Mac and Chris and all these other people. Like it was so weird because it was like I think it's so funny because there were so many different sections of like TikTok and specifically anime TikTok that it was like I'll never forget. They were like, "Yo, yeah, you're the OG waifu anime TikTok person." I'm like, ew. That's
Yeah.
really what I said. I said, oh, ew, I don't like that. But I was like, but I was just kind of like, okay, yeah. It's like that. It's kind of crazy because you're like, oh my gosh, you know all these other people. Like you've expanded your category. I was like, the only reason why I'm like I know Scoob is because me and Gabe interacted on a video where he commented on it was a top three waifus from the big three, and it was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach at the time. You know, everyone's has the big three discourse, and that's why that video blew. Because people were arguing, "Oh, no, that's not the big three." Da, 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 da. And Gabe's in there like
Yeah.
talking about the big three and the thing, and I just ended up following him. Me and him just started chatting from there and doing and talking on the side. But it's just like you like the that was the beautiful thing about anime TikTok back then because
Yeah.
it was still small like that you only had maybe about 50, it's like 25, 50 well-known like anime TikTokers that were on everyone's For You page because anime at that time was not as nearly as big as it's become in the past, God, 5 years since we started posting
Yeah.
content on TikTok. But it was like, it was
Yeah.
so cool because it was like a tight knit community. And I would say out of all those people, maybe five of them actually wanted to be content creators. Everyone else probably just posted one video on TikTok and they blew up and they're like, well, it's COVID. I'm not really doing anything. Might as well just do this. And then
Yeah.
the rest is history. And now you've got your people that are still doing it to this day. That are still going strong, like Gabe, like Trunks, like Fifth, just to name a few that are still going strong on that side of things. But like a majority of other of us, we've moved on and are doing our own thing in life. And that's also the kind of cool thing about that phase of TikTok where it's
Yeah.
like not it's there still. You can go back and look at the memories, but it's just like that a lot of people have moved on and that's just the way social media and influencers and content creators do. Some continue doing it, other people do it for a year and they find things that they're more passionate about. And I just think
Yeah.
that's so crazy to think about when I'm looking back on everything. I'm like, oh man, what a
Yeah.
wild time.
It was a wild time. I still see everybody post, and
Mm,
everybody still loves anime and everything. Like I
hmm.
know Yandere God, I know he's doing music now, and
Yeah,
I'm just sitting here like, holy shit. Like his music is really, really, really good. And
yeah.
then we see a lot of people getting married,
Hmm.
being pregnant and everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like high school going to college, and in college
Ooh.
adult. It's like all over again. It's like, oh my gosh, I've seen these people like have
Hmm.
lives, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
I know, right?
But I'm really proud of everybody. Even though
Yeah,
I don't talk to everybody,
yeah.
I still so bad about it to this day. I'm just like, me and you. Every time I see him, like, hey, what's up, and everything. Now I know we're just like, okay, bye.
But yeah, no,
And then we don't talk for like a couple months, and then here
yeah.
we are now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the beautiful thing about like the friendships
Yeah.
that do make it through. It's just like people talk about it all the time. It's like the like the thing is like I'll never forget this is because I was still working at the childcare center at the time when we first did our meetup and the way they were like, oh, you're gonna go meet up with your TikTok friends. And I just hated that word. I hated TikTok
Yeah,
friends. I'm like they're
I
not
did too.
my TikTok friends. They're my friends. They're not they don't have like an attachment to them because I met them through TikTok. They're just my friends now, and I would always just thought that was so weird because I would legitimately get upset by it. Like I just remember someone's like, "Oh, you're gonna go meet up with your TikTok friend." I'm like, "No, I'm meeting up with Scoob. That's my friend from TikTok that I've met through TikTok, but not he's not a TikTok friend." Because his thing is like, that's the beautiful thing about because you hear about all the time about people who just collaborate for the sake of views and stuff like that. And that's one of
Oh
the
yeah,
beautiful things about specifically your guys' group that you guys have right now, but and also the OG squad. We never did this for it was never for content. It was always because we generally made connections because of making content. Like at some point we all of our past kind of came together as one. But it was like it's really cool, man, because we built long lasting friendships over it that like you said we may not talk maybe we'll talk maybe once every couple months But when we do get together and sit down and talk, it's always a good time. And it's like
Yep.
we like we didn't miss a beat. I haven't seen your face in a year, and I feel like I just literally saw you like a week ago. Like that's the thing. That's the thing about friendships like that. It's like, yeah, we may not have seen each other face to face, and we might be just chatting here and there, but when we do, it's just like Matt. I don't want to say magic, but it is like magic is happening again. It's like the friendship just never stops, and that's the beautiful thing about those friendships that do last from content creation, which is cool.
I agree.
This whole podcast is because of literally me and Jake meeting through Twitch, and he lives in Australia. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, how does that even happen? Right? Like, how does that relationship? You know what I mean? Like, how does that even happen? But like, that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, you just don't know, and it's thanks to this beautiful thing called content creation that we all have been a part of our lives, and we've made so many friendships through it all, which is it's crazy, man.
That's amazing, by the way. Y'all meet it on Twitch. He lives in Australia, and then y'all have this now. I think that is beautiful. While me and Fifth are in the house just talking about podcasts for a year now, and we're just like looking at each other like, so how do we want to start this?
And the thing is, like, I'll pull up the log for you at one point, but literally it was just like, hey Jake, I had this idea. I want to do a podcast. Would you want to do one with me? Sure. I was like, you want to do it? You want to do it Friday? He's like, yeah. And that's really what it was. It was just like the thing I was just thinking about, because I'm like, me and him are 12 hours apart, and we would like chat. Well, at the time he lived in England, which was about 6 hours away, and then he moved to Australia, which is now 12 hours away. So like, we would literally message each other. Like, it would be just weird messaging hours. Like, if I really wanted to talk with Jake, I would either have to stay up late or wake up really, really early to like even talk to him. And so like, it was like, for me, it's like, well, why don't we just like schedule an hour of our time to like just sit down and like make sure we're catching up with each other, but us always having little content creator brains. Where I was like, let's just record and call it a podcast. And that's how the dual hemisphere hangout started. It's just literally like, is it me and him just wanting to talk for an hour, and said, and we'll just hit record. We'll bound to find some entertaining stuff along the way or something like that. And that's really what it is with podcasts. It's like, you just have fun out there. It's like, my goal is not for this podcast to like be the biggest thing in the entire world. If it does, that's really cool. But I just like doing this because I like talking to people. I like talking to my friends. I like sitting down, talking about wrestling. I mean, I literally just recorded a wrestling episode like this morning. I woke up at 8 a.m. to record a wrestling podcast with my other friend, Nick, who lives in England. So it's just like, I'm just out here conquering the fucking globe at this point.
Oh man, I salute you for that.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. I love it. I love doing podcasts. I love talking. I just love it so much. But I think one thing that we talked about a little bit, and honestly, I didn't even know you were like this big a fan, because we never really talked about it like when we were hanging out. But like, wrestling is like something that I didn't know we actually really had in common, because we never really talked about it. And I mean, I know, to be fair, I didn't really talk about it either, because it's always like one of those things where like, you don't really like say you watch WWE, you can't just kind of do. And if you know someone that watches it, you kind of like, oh shit, you watch that shit too? It's kind of like the old school anime, like, oh, you watch that? You watch that anime?
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, cool. Hey, you're my friend now. Sit down. But it's really cool, because I'll be watching, I'll be following you guys on your stories and stuff like that, and seeing your reactions to WWE and stuff, and I think that's really, really cool. So I guess for me, man, is like me and Nick just covered the heel turn. Man, how do you feel about the heel turn, man? How are you feeling?
The inner kid in me just died.
Yes.
But the adult me is like, yes, do it. But I died inside. Me, Trunks, and Fifth were stuck. We're in, like every Friday, Monday, every Saturday or Sunday, if it's WrestleMania or SummerSlam, we stay in my room and we all just watch it. And I mentioned before, I was like, hey, should I like go on Twitch stream and then just have our reactions? And they're like, yeah, but I was like, okay, I understand it. But I was like, man, because our reactions is like priceless. Like it's and John Cena. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt a little bit. The kid side and me like literally banged on the desk, dropped down middle of Walmart.
I was like,
on my knees, like no.
Yeah, no. Me and Nick were talking about it. I literally said to him, I was like, it literally felt like the WWE just took my little inner child and literally just
Mhm.
smacked him across the face and called him a bitch for believing in
Yeah.
heroes. Because that's how I felt like, bro. So my voice, because again, when I watch wrestling, I'm not super vocal. Like I
Yeah.
will like be like, oh man, that's cool, da, da, da. But I was just like, my jaw dropped. I'm like looking at my room and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's like, no, no. I was like, I can't believe. Like I'm doing like the whole like reaction, like what, like how is this even possible? I can't believe they just turned him heel. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's crazy that like I didn't even know that about you. I didn't even know you liked wrestling at all.
Yeah.
I would have been inviting you to watch alongs a long time ago.
Right, it's crazy this whole time because I told Trunks that I was like, Luke likes wrestling. He was just like, what? He
Yeah,
was like, I didn't know that. Even Fifth was like, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, like Luke likes wrestling. I was like, I didn't know that either.
yeah. No, I didn't know because like it's crazy because like yeah, like what I just said, it's just like it's wrestling is was one of those things where you just like you don't really broadcast you're a big wrestling fan. You just like you
Yeah.
might mention oh like oh yeah I watch wrestling or whatnot. Like yeah, what are your hobbies? Oh, I watch wrestling from time to time. But it's like when you
Yeah.
find that someone does, you're like oh shit you like that shit too. All right, cool, cool,
hmm
cool.
I think it's become mainstream like last
Yeah,
year. I
yeah,
think
for
it become
sure.
real mainstream last year. So that's why everybody was like,
Everyone and their
everybody's
mother's
more
talking about
vocal
it.
about it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. It's cool. It's cool seeing it because I'm like again like with anime and with wrestling specifically. It's really cool. Like two of my
Mhm.
favorite like mediums and entertainment are slowly getting the recognition that they deserve. And I will be the first one to admit I am not one of those people who are like, no, we got to keep this hidden from everyone else. No, no,
Oh
no. It's
no,
like no.
no,
I
no,
was like
no, no.
absolutely fucking not. Please broadcast to the moon wrestling. Please broadcast to the moon anime. Like it's a great medium and it's not a thing we gotta hold secret. Like it's not like a secret thing where like, oh, no one needs to know about it. It's like, no, this
Exactly.
shit's amazing. Like people should be watching this stuff. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's a good time, and yeah, like it's crazy. Like I did not know you like wrestling at all.
I know, like
Like
I was like,
I
dang.
saw it. I was like, oh, I guess that. At first, I thought maybe you guys were like when I first saw it because you guys. I think the first time I realized you guys were big into ER, so were posting a little bit. Well, I knew Fifth was because Fifth would post occasionally and Trunks would, but
Mhm.
you started posting a lot about, and I would see some of your reactions. I think I was seeing some of your reactions to WrestleMania last year. I'm like, oh shit, no, they fucking like this shit. They fucking love wrestling. Like and you guys were doing you're doing the freaking Roman salutes, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
There we
because
go.
it's a little joke in the house that
Yeah.
so for the blood, so our whole house is bloodline members. That's how we
Okay.
look at each other.
That's cool.
So Trunks is Roman. So every time we see him, we just and he'd be like, "Bro, y'all gotta stop." We'd be like, fifth is Jay. I'm Jimmy. We even got the shirts. We all got the shirts for it. So
That's
I
cool.
got the no yeet. He got the yeet. Um, Trunks has the I forgot which Roman shirt he
Is it
has,
the
but
head of the table one?
nah, no, it's not the head of the table. It's
Okay.
the greatness one.
Okay. That's cool.
So he has that one. I tell Fresco, I'm like, Fresco, you're solo, bro. He's like, bro, stop calling me solo. I'm like, no, you're solo, bro. And yeah, vibes. We just got him a character now. I say, you're Jacob, bro. You're
Yeah.
Jacob.
Oh God. Uh, I don't know if I would want a
But
Jacob running around in the house, man. I'd be like, stay away from us. You're a man that cannot be trusted.
yeah, that's true. Oh man, yeah, that's funny though. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
dang, we would have
wild.
talked a lot more
We would have.
about
I
wrestling.
would have been like, oh my God, I don't have to like share this because I literally because I would literally just like watch it and then my roommate she watches wrestling and that's like one thing that we bonded over and so like
Okay.
when we were like working we worked together and it was just one of the things like every pay-per-view like come on over and watch the wrestling because I had someone to watch wrestling with. It wasn't just like a thing I would just
Yeah.
sit in my room and kind of watch. And I'm like thinking back to it and I was like only if me and Scoop the topic of WWE came up one time, it'd be a whole nother thing. It'd be like
See, I wasn't like okay, around 2020-ish,
yeah.
I didn't watch wrestling. I
Yeah,
think that was the
I don't
year.
think anyone really did because that when COVID was a
Well,
thing,
COVID, yeah.
yeah, when the Thunderdome was a thing, I definitely stopped watching because I did not like watching wrestling without a crowd. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And even though they had the screens and the noise and stuff like that, it was kind of weird. But I would say like for me when because I kind of have phases with WWE where like when I was a kid from like 2007 to about 2013, like right around that era. That's where I was really, really big into
Yep.
it. Because then Punk left and my favorite wrestler left, so I'm like, don't want to watch it anymore. Yada yada yada. And then I would like hop in. I got back in around 2016 when AJ Styles returned. Watched that till about like 2018
Bruh.
ish for about 2 more years. And then it just got really bad. It got stale. Like they were pushing Roman to the moon. It's just always Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. I was like, I don't really give a fuck about these guys. And so I stopped watching till about 2021. And then I always say like the mark for me is when I came back into it because I would still watch. I would watch WrestleMania every single year. I would watch the Rumble every year, but I would not keep
Yeah.
up to the week to week. And then Cody returned at Mania, and I'm like, this feels like a starting of something new, and I'm here
Hmm.
for it. And then like from there, ever since Cody returned at Mania about 3 years ago, I've been watching every pay per view. Now that Raw's on Netflix, I watch Raw every Monday now, and then I get my SmackDown highlights on TikTok. So, but like it's crazy. Yeah. That definitely. If you, there was no need to be talking about wrestling at that point because it was trash. When me and you were hanging out,
I
when me and you were prominently hanging out, it was pretty trash.
it was like your timeline, the timeline you just said is literally the same
There
timeline
you
on
go.
how I watch and stop watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Besides, I stopped wrestling or stopped watching from 20, like I came back into it like 2016. I did it
Mhm.
for like probably like a year maybe.
Yeah.
Because my grandma, she's the reason why I got into wrestling.
Oh, really?
She loves it. Like she's been watching it for a long
Oh,
time.
really? That's so cool.
So she got me into it. But yeah, so I stopped watching around like 2017-ish. I stopped and I got back into it. Yeah, probably a little bit around where Cody came back at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Probably like a little after that, maybe.
Yeah.
I know I was still watching WrestleMania and I was still watching highlights. I was watching nothing but highlights of what happened
Yeah.
after that point. And then I like start watching here and there. I'll get back on it, start watching here and there, get back on it. And then what I really was like, okay, I'm really getting back into it now
Hmm.
was Royal Rumble when Cody, because my coworker, he watches wrestling and he wrestled and he told me every single time like what's going on. So I used to get my updates from him, like what happened with Roman and all
Hmm.
that, the bloodline and all that. Kevin Owens, he would tell me everything. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to Royal Rumble. I would ask would you go, but we can't both be off at this time. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then he ended up going there. And then like after like I saw what happened and I was like, oh shit, like Cody's out there now. And then he like calls me like after the show, texts me. He's like, bro, Cody came back, bro. Cody came back at Royal Rumble. He won it, bro. He won it.
Hmm.
It's like after he got hurt.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just was like, you know what? I'm about to watch it, but I'm gonna like not watch it at the same time because I still had a life and everything. I couldn't like every Friday and Monday, I couldn't like stay
Yeah.
on it for real. So I
Hmm.
just watch highlights, but I would like stay on it, like, and I
Hmm.
would ask him about things like, yeah, what's going on with this? This okay. And then I told myself, I said, if Randy Orton comes back, I will watch WWE full time now. And he
Ooh.
came back Elimination Chamber.
There you go.
And not just him,
Hmm.
CM
My
Punk.
goat.
And
My goat.
I literally was like, oh yeah, then I'll stay. I'm requesting this day off. I'm requesting this day off. I'm working in the morning this day. This
Yep.
day, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching it
Hmm.
from now on.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back. I've been watching it.
It's been good. It's been a good 3 or 4 years of wrestling, and it's only getting
Yeah,
better, and I couldn't be happier with it. I'm super excited about wrestling, and I'm super excited about WrestleMania. And then I know you mentioned this like briefly. Now you're going to Twitch stream, which is kind of funny. How our like little
yeah.
sooner or later you're gonna stop streaming on Twitch, and then you're gonna go to becoming a podcast host. You're just gonna follow my timeline of how things work. But no, how are you enjoying streaming, man? Like I hop in when I
uh,
can. A lot of times I'm working, but I just saw that you beat the first Kingdom Hearts. I hopped on about a week ago. You were playing Stardew Valley for a little bit, and now I think I saw in your story you were playing Monster Hunter, the new Monster Hunter. So how are you enjoying streaming, and what is like do you enjoy more than making content, and what do you like more about it? Do you like the idea of playing the games? Like for me, I like doing Twitch because it was an excuse for me to play games, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes to
you nailed
everything.
it. Yeah.
Yes to
Yes.
everything.
So I really enjoy it. At first I was nervous. I was really nervous. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm getting into how many people gonna be in here? How many? And I was like really worried about the views when I first got into the
Hmm.
viewers. But then I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna just be
Yeah.
myself and and just stream. But I really love it a lot. Yes, it has become an excuse now to play video
There you
games
go.
because there's times where I'm playing a video game and I'm like, I could be streaming this.
Hmm.
Oh well, and this was before I started streaming, and I was like, man, if only I was streaming this, blah blah blah. When I played God of War at the time, Ragnarok,
Hmm.
and I was just like, dang. But yeah, I really love it a lot. Like, and then especially seeing the people come in who are from, I know you said Jake is from Australia,
Yeah.
or it lives in Australia now, and I'm like, yeah, these people coming from like I got people from Germany in my chat
Hmm.
and they're like talking to me and people in Cali and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, how you liking this?" Like I'm getting close with my community now,
Yeah. That's the cool thing
and
about it. Yeah.
yeah, and me and Fifth, we pretty much are we're the streamers of the house right now.
Yeah.
We constantly always stream. Vibe streams too, and Fresco streams every now and then. But my like his community pretty much got pushed out to all of us. So
Yeah.
so like and I appreciate him a lot for that because he raised us every now and then, and they just was like, man, I love all y'all in the house, like the
Hmm.
his community. So now they're like in our chats, they talking to us, we're building a relationship and everything. And I'm sitting here like, I think that's what I want. I just want to build a great community,
Yeah. That's it, man.
and talk about video games, talk about anything.
Yeah.
Because I eventually want to not be just a gamer, and I just want to, just go in there and just talk about whatever,
Yeah.
or just have like little times where I'm like, hey, what do y'all want to do today? Y'all want to do this or that, or
Hmm.
I think it's just amazing when it comes to that. But I really appreciate it. Kingdom Hearts, oh my gosh, I never played Kingdom Hearts, by the way,
I know.
and this is I'm loving it. I'm watching, what's it call it, 385
Yep.
later on today, and I can't wait. And then after that, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
There you go, man.
Got to.
Let's go. Let's go, man. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, the cool thing about streaming on Twitch was that community aspect. I never really got hung up on the numbers at all, really. It was always for me, a lot of it was just like I just pretend I had like 100 people in there. I would always hide my view count because every like you can say all you want, you don't care about the views, but when you ever get views, you always still have in the back of your mind are always thinking about views. So I always hide the amount of people I have in my live, in my stream, and I would just pretend I'm talking to 100 people, and that's that way I would continue talking. Even if there was one person in there, I would still treat like there was 100 different people in there. And
Mhm.
yeah, I love the community aspect of things, man. And I'm super glad you're playing Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is a great game series. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for you to play the games in Kingdom Hearts 2 because that's it literally is like no shit like one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good.
Well, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great game.
Everybody said, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait
If
because
you like Kingdom Hearts 1, you're gonna love 2 even better. It's better. It's better in every way imaginable.
yeah, it like at first I was playing and I was sitting here like, yeah, this is kind of overhyped. Like I like it, like it's a good game, but I
It's
was like, it's kind of
overhyped.
overhyped.
Oh
And then I got to the last two areas,
yeah.
and then it's all the way to the end of the game until the last cutscene in the game, and I'm sitting here about to break, like I'm about to cry, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap! And I got done with it, and I just instantly just started clapping. I was
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a great
Oh yeah.
game.
No, it is.
Anything that I said, I am so sorry. I was like, this is a great game, and I cannot wait.
yeah.
And well, last night I stayed up to like 6 o'clock in the morning because the time went up.
Yeah.
So the watch Chain of Memories. So I
Mm-hmm.
just watched the whole thing, Chain of Memories, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I don't know what's going on, but this is fire.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The one thing you're gonna learn about Kingdom Hearts is the plot gets crazy Two is where the plot gets a little wacky as fuck, but it's a great. I mean,
Ooh.
the game is great. The game is great. The characters are great. The worlds are great. The combat is the best the series has been.
Oh
Has
wow.
ever, in my opinion. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3, the combat was still really good, but Kingdom Hearts 2, that's like, if you love Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2 is just a better game through and through, like in my opinion.
Mm.
So you're gonna have fun with that. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying
Thank
streaming,
you.
man. I really am, and I'm super excited to hop in. I'm gonna try to hop in more and more. I'm glad I like it when you stream a little bit past 6 o'clock because I'm like, oh, I can watch that. Because half the time when you're on, I'm like, I'll be in the middle of work and I'm like trying to watch a stream, but I'll be talking to someone out in public,
Hmm.
and you'll say like a bad word. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like I gotta go. I gotta go. Like, yeah, I can't
Oh.
remember what it was. You're making a comment about you were playing Stardew, and the guy came up behind you,
Oh,
and I was
you
watching
was
that
there.
live, and I'm like, oh, he's fishing. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And then someone comes out, and I'm like, hi, da 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 da. I just hear like, what are you doing? I'm like, anyways, yeah. Sorry about that. I was watching something.
I apologize because I know exactly what you're talking.
Well, I knew because you made a clip about it. I'm
I
like,
made a video.
yeah,
Yeah.
you made a clip about it. I was like, oh god, I'm about to see this on Instagram later, aren't I? And then I did. I was like, oh my gosh. But no, it's funny. But yeah, I don't apologize. It's fine. But it is just kind of funny where I'm just like, I was
Oh.
like, I want to watch more, but you be because obviously your work schedule's different. I do be seeing you be getting off work at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I understand like you got to stream in the afternoons when you can. My hair
Yeah.
just did this weird thing. But yeah, it's cool, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. So
Thank you, man.
what's next for Scoot, man? What's going on, man? What are your? I talked to Jake about it. What are your 2025 goals, man? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to be doing by the end of the year, man? What's your goals, man?
All right. Like I was telling you, like a little bit earlier this stream and text, me and Fifth are trying to do a
Let's
podcast.
go.
Hopefully we can have it this year.
Mhm.
Um, there's a couple things we need to get for it because we have a certain theme that we want to do for the
Okay,
podcast.
there you go.
So we're just waiting for it to get our money up and then actually get it because I think these last 2 months I have more bills than I ever had.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like I look at Fifth like, hey, let's wait.
yeah.
But eventually we will get that done. I want to do that. I want to. I really want to start making short films.
Okay.
Um, I know I kind of will start making them, but I really want to get into making short films like a lot, or at least preparing myself to make short films later on in life.
Hmm.
Um, Hopefully this is the year I can finally full-time content create
Let's
and I can
go.
stream. I want to stream like not all the time, but I would love to stream most of the time. And then of course I'm gonna get on YouTube. I need to get on YouTube and
Hmm.
stop playing around with
Oh,
I like
YouTube.
I get on there and I get right back off. I'll be like, okay, I post 2, 3, like, okay, Twitch. Like 4 months later, I forgot about YouTube. I'm
Oops.
sorry, y'all.
Hey, I'm back.
So that's the goals for this year.
Let's go, man.
Uh yeah, I have long-term goals though, but
Yeah.
I hope the goals this year
Yeah.
flourish and be, if it flourished, then the long-term goals
There you
will
go,
be
man.
successful.
There you go, man. That's the goal, man. Like
Yes, sir.
ultimately, the goal is always to have
Yeah,
something. We call it when work. We're really big on setting goals, and we call them. You have to have short term goals to get to your long term goals, and that's
exactly,
a and
exactly.
the fact that you have those, you're already off to a better start than 99% of people who set goals because normally they have one big goal and they don't have small goals to get there. So you're already doing
Mhm.
better, man. So let's go,
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
And yeah,
So I
yeah.
would like to ask, what are
Mhm.
yours?
Yeah, so yeah, honestly, goal this year, man, is really just to continue just doing this, man. I love the podcasts. I love talking to people, man. I don't know, Dual Hemisphere Hangout's gonna be here to stay for a while. Just want to just continue taking it to the moon. I love it. I love talking about it. We already have a spinoff, that being the wrestling version of this show, which is something that I'm really excited about because I love talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this is going to be a proper episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout, but I also am thinking about possibly making this into its own little series called Dual Hemisphere Hangout presents We Have Cool Friends, because I have a lot of cool friends. Jake
Oh
has a
yeah.
lot of cool friends. And so thinking like taking this concept of talking to different people about their experiences and stuff like that and making that its own thing. So there's a lot. I got a lot of stuff in the brain that's working out, right? And that's why I'm like testing a bunch of stuff now to really just get the feel for it, man. But I just love this podcast. I honestly, when I started doing it, I just did it as a fun little thing, and then we have like dedicated viewers that listen every single week, like on audio. Like we have a guy in Germany who listens to us in Germany every single week. Like I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
what blows my mind. I'm like, and I every time I get stats, like got some like I check off a country every time I see one. Like I got viewers in Serbia, Australia, freaking Iceland, like so Germany,
Wow.
Spain, England, like France. It's so cool, man. And it's a really, really cool thing to know that like people actively listen to what I have to say, because most of the time it's a whole lot of fucking nonsense. But I really do love it.
People
So
love people
yeah,
love what you have to say, what you and Jake have to say, man.
it's true. It's true. We do have good banter. We definitely do. But yeah, I just want the dual hipster hangout to be as cool as it can be. I want the quality to be good, and as long as I'm able to actually do this, which I definitely think I'm not gonna have any problems sitting down every week and talking. But which is why I always wanted to do podcasts, man. It's like it's not a lot that goes into this. As you can see, we literally said, "All right, Scoop, what we're gonna do before we start, we're just gonna have this little outline, and we're gonna talk." And then we're just going to continue talking. And that's all a podcast is. At the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
good conversations, just good banter with your person that you have with you, and it's a lot of fun. And then if I were to pick another thing, I've been inspired to possibly be doing like more longer form video content, and more or less doing like a retrospective of certain games. I really want to just do a deep dive in the Persona series. I really want to sit
Ooh.
down and replay all the good Personas. I don't Persona 1 and 2, they're Don't hate me, guys, but it's not for me. But Persona 3, 4, and 5, I want to sit down and replay all those games again and really just kind of like break down the themes and stuff like that, because they're really, really good. They're really important. It's my favorite game series of all time now. Scoop knows that. Like Persona 5 Royale is my favorite video game of all
Yeah.
time. And so going back and playing that, I just played Metaphor. I just beat Metaphor earlier this year, which is done by the same team, and that game is amazing in every right. It's almost
Ooh.
like if you like, and I think Scooby you probably enjoy because it's not as long as a typical Persona game. It took me about 60 hours to beat. So you
Oh
could
yeah, we
probably
have it.
you
Yeah, we
could
have it. Fifth bought it.
for
And we have a
Christmas.
family. Yeah, we have a family library
Oh, that's cool.
for Steam. So he bought it, and I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I'm gonna play it eventually. And he's just
You
like, yeah, he's gonna play it eventually.
you'll like it. It's good, man. It's not it's more like medieval Persona,
Okay.
in the sense that it's a storyline for me. The characters in the story are really, really good, and the combat's really good. So, but yeah, I played that, and I'm like, it made me just really appreciate the development team that made all of those core Persona 3 through 5 titles. I'm like, I want to go back and play all those. So at some point this year, I'm going to be playing those games, and maybe I'll make a video, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure yet. I just want to go back and play those games because I have thoughts, and maybe I'll just do like a Persona podcast. I'll probably call Fifth. I'll be like, Fifth, get on here. We're talking about Persona for 5 hours. All right.
And he would do it.
I know he would. I know he would. But yes, those are my goals, man. But yeah,
That's good.
it's good, man. I'm excited, man. The dual hemisphere hangout is like it's my little baby now, so it's like I love it. I love it. I want to
Yeah, I'm
see it grow.
proud.
Thank you, man. I
I'm
appreciate
proud of you,
that.
man.
I know we talked
So
about it.
proud.
Like, the one thing that Scoot can tell you is like I've been talking about doing a podcast since I first met the guy.
Yep.
Literally. Like 'cause at first
Yep.
we talked about doing one with Lobby when we were trying to do like me and you and her sat down and did like what ifs or
Attack on
something.
Titan.
Yeah,
Or what?
we did
Yeah.
some what ifs, and like that was really cool. I was like, man, I really like this. It's like we should just do a
Yeah.
podcast, and obviously like
Until what? Until what? The audio.
until the audio. Yes, I remember you edited that thing. It's going up. It's going up, and then the audio went bad. I'm like, no. That's
Yeah.
why I have Jake. Jake is my audio guy. He's my technical difficulties guy. He's gonna see this audio and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, what I'm about? I have to go fix all this shit before you can post it, Luke." But he's my audio guy. I couldn't do the podcast without him. Like he literally rocked up at 8 o'clock this evening to hop in and do just be in the background for me and Nick's wrestling podcast we did. And so like he loves it too, man. It's his little baby as well.
That's
So
good.
it's the DHH, man. I'm super excited that it's actually become a thing. It's been something I've been wanting to work towards, and couldn't be happier, man.
Yeah, we used to sit on the couch and watch podcasts.
Yes, we did. Yes, we would.
Yeah.
We would sit on the good old love seat, man, and watch some Trash Taste. That's what we would watch all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All the
sir.
time.
Yes, sir. And then I guess it would be. I mean, we didn't really touch on anime, and I think it would be apropos if we did not touch on it a little bit, man. So, if you had to give me, I've been kind of slowly crawling back in. I dipped my toe in not too
Mm-hmm.
long ago. I watched
Yes, sir.
the Dan to Dan. That was really good. Watched
Mm-hmm.
Windbreakers. It was really good, man. I'm pretty sure you still watch a good amount. So I'm gonna need you to give me a recommendation, man. If you say Fearin', I'm gonna get upset with you because I already know about Fearin'. Because you gave me the Fearin' manga, which I read. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did. I forgot about that. Link Click.
Link Click. What is that one about?
You have to watch it.
All right, I'm watching it.
I can't really explain it. It's all about you just watch the first episode.
Okay.
I can't explain it without spoiling.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to watch it then. Let's go.
Apparently there's a second season, but I don't know that yet. Me and Fresco watched it and we both were like, holy, like this show is great. Like we couldn't stop watching. Like that's how good it was. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, we need second season now because they ended it so good. But like, wow, you ended that way. So
yeah,
I heard the second season came out, but I hear nobody talking about it, so that makes me scared.
Oh, okay.
So,
well then, all right. Let's go. Scuba always has I will say I never recommended Scuba a bad show once. He's recommended me some mess shows before, so we'll see. We'll see.
Dang, putting me down. I will say one thing.
I'm only picking on you because of Noragami. That's the only one.
Come on, man. Look, read it, man. You gotta read it. I'll say one thing. Luke has not given me a bad manga. Like literally, we would go in Barnes and Noble, and I would try to look for some things. I'm like, I want to read something new. I'll look at Luke and I say, "Hey, Luke, pick out something new for me." He's like, "Anything, whatever you get, I'm buying." He's like, "Okay." He go. I see him like 10 minutes later. He'll come up with like 1 or 2 or 3 books and be like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Okay." I buy it, and now they're like one of my favorites. Like Call of the Night. You gave me Call of the Night. At first, I was like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got really good. The manga finished, and it's, oh my God, it's so good. I love Call of the Night. And then you gave me Great Priest Emotep.
Yes, sir.
And now I'm over here trying to recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to read it. And I'm sitting here like, y'all don't understand. This is only 11 volumes or 12. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, y'all have to read this peak.
Yeah.
It won manga to be animated in like 2019. There is a reason why it won it. But yes, it doesn't have an anime yet. It's because, nobody wants to do it for some reason. I don't know why. But I was like, y'all have to read this. This is peak. When I tell you it's a mixture, it's the main character is Yato from Noragami, and then the girl in there is Lucy from Fairy Tail. I don't know how that works out, but it worked out pretty well. I was like, it's amazing, and the ending of it is like, it's not a good or bad ending. It's like it leaves a stale taste in your mouth.
It ended.
Yeah, and when I say bad ending, I don't mean like, oh, this is trash. I mean bad, like there was a bad ending in there, like they're like everybody dies or something crazy. But no, it's more of a like this is a it's good though, but it's like
it didn't quite stick the landing.
But it's a great manga though.
All we've learned is that Luke has great taste, and that's what we've learned. So that's
You have great taste, and apparently I don't.
No, Scoob does have good taste. He did tell me to get on my ass about watching One Piece, and I did, and One Piece is great. So I mean, I'll give them that, but that's all I'm giving them.
I look link click is I'm redeeming myself with link click.
All
So
right.
good luck. Good
Okay,
luck.
I'm watching it, man. I'll be the first. I will literally cannot wait to message you. Be like, what the fuck do you have me watching right now? I just wasted 20 minutes of my life watching this. It could have been doing
No,
something
it's
productive. I'm just
the
fucking with
concept.
you.
The concept of it is really good,
Yeah,
and you're gonna be like, oh, this is different, and I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, it's is it on Netflix? I might be on Netflix, probably.
yeah. I got everything, so it's cool. I can.
Okay.
And I'll look it up and wherever it's at, I'll watch it. But yeah, yeah, yeah. We were a bit we're a bunch of nerds, man. We loved our anime, man. We would watch a fuck ton of anime together.
Yep.
It was a lot. There was a lot of times. My favorite thing is sometimes when we talk about anime is the fact that me and you always would we sat there and watched Attack on Titan every single week when the final season was watching. And I will be the first one to admit I called that shit. I
You
called it.
did.
I did.
You called it.
I
You
called
did.
it. I don't know how I called it, but I called it. I was like, what if this happened? And you're like, no way. I'm like, and I was like, well, what if Aaron actually is from the went back in time? And you're like, no. I'm like, oh yeah. And then it happened. I'm like, oh, I called it. I don't know how
You
I did.
remember? You remember how we started? We started watching it, and we could not wait for the next
We read
episode.
the
So
manga.
we was like, we have to read, bro.
We
And
have
we
to
read
read.
it, and then we're just sitting here like, oh man, if they ended it like this way, oh, I'll
Mm-hmm.
be mad watching it if I had to watch it. And it didn't end it that way we thought, but it still ended pretty cliffhanger-ish.
Yeah, with
But
with the head being shot off. I'm like,
yeah,
what? But yeah, no, yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, definitely. I miss those hangout sessions, man. I
I
miss
do
those
too,
hangout
man.
sessions, man. We have to stop being strangers so much, man. We're gonna have to meet up in person
Like,
again soon for real.
exactly.
For real.
I'll go over there. You come over
Yeah,
here.
sounds good. We'll
We'll
do
make it
it.
work.
We'll make it work, man. Well, Scoob, man, thank you so much for hopping in on this fun
Thank
little
you.
spin-off episode of the DHH, man. I always said if I was gonna have a guest, you were always gonna be the first one we had outside of it because you are the man, Scoob. So thank you, man, as always, man. I hope you enjoyed your time. I hope this gives you some
I appreciate you.
inspiration for doing your podcast with Fifth. So let's rock and
Yeah.
roll. When that does officially happen, don't worry. I will let y'all will be the first to know here. I will be hyping that shit up to the moon. But
I appreciate you.
you're
Man.
welcome, man. Well, Scoob,
Thank you for having me.
you're welcome, guys. And that's it. Gonna be it for us today, man. Thank you guys so much for always watching.
sir.
Make sure you guys listen, like, repeat, share. You watch it on YouTube. I guess like it, but no one really cares about YouTube. We love the audio sides of things as well. But guys, I've been Luke.
Oh.
That's been Scoob. Oh, what's up?
Can I say one thing before we
Yeah,
head
go ahead.
Jake, I had never met you, but I miss you and love you, man.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Well, I'm pretty sure Jake will enjoy that as well. Well, guys, as always, I'm Luke. That's been Scoob, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.
Yes, sir.